Oh.
Welcome, everyone. What the heck is this, like,
What? Give me a second.
white sausage that's happening? It's a white sausage.
White sausage.
Yeah.
That's a great way to start the show.
Go for it, Oliver.
It's like white chocolate. All right,
Slowly
we
watch
got
it.
some
Slow.
hot
Keep going.
glass.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Oliver is
Keep
there.
going. Keep walking, Oliver. Quicker. Keep going.
Holy cane.
Holy moly.
Keep going.
Jake's going to be coming with the second color. This is hot glass, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
baby.
All right, that's good, Oliver. Hold her steady.
Steady
Stretch
now.
across the studio.
That looks like about maybe 30 feet. Woo!
What?
All right.
And
Here's
then
a pair
there's
of
Jake.
tweezers,
Come on
and
with
I'll
the
be ready
next
to trade with you
sausage.
here.
Down.
for round number dos.
This is all the behind the
I'll
scenes
trade with
stuff
you.
you have not seen in the show and blown away because they
I'll
have to
take
edit
those
this
diamonds,
all out
Oliver.
to make the TV show. But us, we've got 2 hours of your attention here on The Gathering Point. We can show you all the steps, all the details, all the things that make it happen. Welcome to The Gathering Point. We got Chris in the purple, Jake in the blue, Oliver's in the blue as well. Bess will be sitting at the tech table. Got some of the girls in the background doing some other tech. Never a dull moment here at the Glass Academy. The cane part is really cool. You got to be fast acting. There's no messing around. So you can see that Jake and Chris have been pretty mellow so far in their conversations because they got to stay uber focused on what they're doing.
Look at that hot, goopy action.
The hot glass has to be pulled at the right temperature. It's nice to flip-flop it back and forth like this so you can pull out
Gravity.
where it needs to be pulled out.
Take it, Oliver.
Oliver's
Start walking.
taking
Go for it quick.
the diamond shears.
Beautiful.
Let's walk with him.
Keep going. Looking good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's looking pretty good. You kind of thin by your end.
Super thin.
All right, hang tight. This is good. Letting it harden up a little bit before we put it down.
They're going to set it down on these railroad tracks, which are wood. You can see all the burn marks on them. Using a pair of tweezers, he can just chop off the end.
Nice work.
And there
It's beautiful.
it is.
All right, all right. So that was some gorgeous looking cane, you guys, we just pulled. And that cane, I did a white and black pull, is going to be specifically for a beautiful compote that we're going to be making, which a compote's definition is it's a lidded platter so that you can protect things from air and protect things from insects and such.
We were going to buy some macaroons to put on the display one, and I think we
Macrons?
forgot. What was that?
I don't know.
At dinner, we were going to buy them. Sometimes you forget the macaroons.
Well, folks, we're going to go over the board in a second per our amazing viewers' requests. But first, we're going to get into the warmer-upper Loyalty League exclusive piece, and it's going to be a tasty one right there on the floor, drawn up, the Flipper Sipper.
Ooh!
That's
I
right.
like that, the Flipper Sipper. If you guys don't know, we introduce ourselves, Shell?
I introduced you.
You did? All right. Well, hey.
There's
But you guys know
JoJo.
who I am. What's happening? My name's JoJo.
There's Bobby. And there's Johnny.
All right. Bobo, Bobby, and Johnny.
I'm kind of feeling a little Bobby.
Bobby?
Bobby Brady? Is that you?
I'm JoJo, right? Is that who I am? I
Yeah,
don't know
you're
about
not
that.
Bobby.
If
We
Caleb
got
Crample
Chris.
saw that, he'd love it.
Oliver, Jacob. We got Bess on the tech over there.
Oh, yeah.
Working it, working it. I'm going to go to the board.
Okay. I'm about to
not?
hit the mold and then blow up the cup top right now.
Well, right now they can look. We've got Ellery doing, look at this, warmer upper, custom order, artist's choice. She is not messing around, man. She has lubed up that board with her artistic ability.
Looks super good, and you can see we moved some other things around over there. We'll go over those in a second, but first,
How can you talk with your mouth full of glass?
I'm not chewing on any glass.
You
I
just
got some really nice
blow the
purple.
glass over there.
Purple.
Purple.
Purple. This is actually this is an off-brand purple from the purple that we typically use, and I'm very curious to see
Is this from the dollar store?
what it do. Blow. No dollar store
Wouldn't
purple.
it be nice if you could buy glass
Oh
color
my
for
God.
glass blowing at the dollar store?
Good.
I don't know though.
It would probably
I try
be.
not to buy anything from the dollar store.
I think Oliver knows a little bit about buying some cheaper color. Not that you're cheap, Oliver, but there is that option in the torch making world. Isn't that true?
Yeah, you can. Sometimes it's really awesome. Sometimes
It's not.
Not so good.
no. Sometimes you get burned.
Blow.
So this is the cup top, folks. That is the top of this
Beautiful.
flipper sipper glass that Jake's making.
You hear that sound?
I
Blow.
do too.
It's got
It
some
feel-
beautiful optics on
Beautiful.
there that's giving it that nice vibration sound.
It feels really
The
nice when you do it
vibration
too.
station.
We could do some ASMR videos, and that could be a
Oh,
clip
yeah.
in there.
Big time. All
Kind
right.
of looking like a little periwinkle.
We're going to do a Maurice, and then you can just probably get it ripping and then bring that over as another hot dropper. 2-part stem.
We're gonna start out. I'll
Smallish
have the mic
Maurice,
for
and then a
hot
much
minute.
bigger stem.
Then Oliver will have it.
Yeah. So we're gonna start building this flipper sipper down off the pipe. This is the large portion of the glass. I'm about to build a stem. We just did an amazing residency, Chris and I did, in West Virginia at the Greenbrier. Probably gonna go just a little bit bigger than that, I apologize.
Yeah, we were actually down there doing this sweet residency. We went down there. They asked us to come down and blow some crazy glass, some Venetian glass for Mike McCain, who's an amazing glass blower who works down there.
Super cool. Great connection, great time. We made some really cool pieces. It pushed Chris and I to come up with some more creative stuff and try some new things. This is one of the pieces that we made and left there. I'm doing it in a different color, but this stem turned out completely different than I had planned on actually in the moment, and I really love the way it looks. So we're gonna give that stem another shot. And this is part 1 of the stem.
So like he said, guys, this is it. The drawing right here is the flipper sipper. That is the PC Drew.
Yes.
That's what he's making.
He's making bacon.
He's making bacon.
Big bacon.
Speaking
Now,
of
Dad,
which,
sorry.
no, I was gonna say I put some prosciutto in the fridge.
Were you telling me I should cut it on there, tap it, hit it, and then cut this in first before then going there to make that connection smooth?
Yeah, you fold it up, you start necking it, press it back, then you go up on top, neck, straighten that out, go back in there, then draw it out.
You guys all get that?
No, but we're gonna see it.
That's the Evolio lesson.
Nope.
And the
I'll
Evolio
take it
is
like
the
that.
transition between the cup and the stem of a goblet,
Let's do it.
and sometimes between the stem and the foot of a goblet.
Beautiful size, shape, everything. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Oh, you guys didn't see Oliver take that jump.
I
That
saw
was
him in my
nice.
peripheral. That was pretty tasty.
Oh.
It's
You've
the new
gotten
shoes.
some movement here.
Channeling his gazelle mojo.
Oh, I like it. The gazelle.
One sec. Wow.
Do you know your great
All
grandma's
right,
name was
squish.
Gazella?
I didn't know
Gisela?
that. Squish hard. Lighten up.
You didn't hear any of that.
I heard it and I didn't know that.
I need you to say it one more time for me.
My grandmother's name, maiden
Good.
name, Gazella. Not maiden name, her first name. Which my dad will like hearing that when he watches the replay.
Grandpa.
What I thought you said was your uncle's name.
That would have been very interesting.
Man, I feel right at home being back at the home base shop right now. I gotta say, it was really fun, really cool to work at a different shop. But I'm just like, feel like I could close my eyes and get where I need to go right now.
Hey, speaking of which, I know you guys told them about them. Who saw the guys in West Virginia and is watching the live show?
Oh,
Do we
yeah,
have
good
anyone
question.
on here that was watching in the audience? If you are, just put it in the chat.
All right, Dad.
Yes.
Gonna do a blown foot here.
All right, you ready?
Yes. This is 2.5 coats of that color, which is unnamed as of now.
And which color is it?
That's
right there?
the one.
Really? That doesn't even look purple.
Not yet.
Dave has a question.
Dane?
Dave.
Dave, my man.
Dave says, any tips for getting the Maurice applied on center? I struggle with that.
Oh, great question,
Lots
Dave.
of practice. Do it on a clear post and practice over and over again and trash it every time.
Absolutely. Recycle it every time.
Yep.
It really starts with the way you swirl it on there is a very big, important deal, and that just comes from, just like Michelle was saying, a lot of experience doing it and just feeling it out.
12 point.
But you can always adjust
The
it, just
small
like
one?
we have the tiny, minimal ability to adjust putting on feet on mugs. If you're a little ovular, you think about gravity, and you can, as the bottom drips, push up on the top, and it kind of unovalizes it, and push it, and never do anything with major force. Gentle taps and see how you're adjusting it. Tap, 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 and then do your squish.
How many coats did you say?
2.5.
Beautiful.
Why did you switch molds if his top, don't you want his top and the bottom to match in the same mold?
I've got a smaller 12 point that is used for blown feet as
Got
opposed
it.
to a blown cup because I've got a lot less glass. I can't blow this little amount of glass in the bigger mold.
It would blow out the shoulder too much, and then you'd be working with a really thin situation. But this is getting into the really tight technical stuff, the Venetian stuff that is what this show is going to be about here. And it starts with, the stem's one thing, but doing a blown foot like this starts with the preparation, having it perfectly symmetrical, lined up nice and hot, and then you're going to see the way that Chris and I hand the pipe off with each other and the timing of prepping it, dropping it, cutting it, squishing it, and breaking it. And all that.
And somebody will be sipping it.
Flipping it and sipping it.
The flip sipping.
Would you give me a little bench blow on this one? When we do the flip around here, it might not be this heat, it'll be the next one, I think. We're gonna see.
I'm going to read off a couple names and places, if that's okay.
Please.
We've got Michael from Leonidas, Michigan. Heidi's watching from Amherstburg, Ontario. She says it's been forever since I've seen a live show.
Woo!
Carrie from Connecticut, as always.
Carrie!
Blow, light and consistent.
Dana from Georgia. We've got Mary Lou, still in Perkiomenville, Pennsylvania.
Beautiful.
We've got Carol from Sarnia.
Yep.
Donna from Twinsburg.
The twins.
Over on the YouTube side, I've got Icarus is here and ready for some Venetian action.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
We've got
Coming out.
Mary from Hudsonville, who's coming in on Thursday for a happy hour.
Let's go.
Super excited. Eric says, spending my birthday watching
Blow,
some glass
good.
blowing. Happy birthday, Eric. Thanks for spending it with us.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, baby. Happy birthday.
Marilyn's watching from Florida. YouTube chat is very busy today.
Popping,
It's popping.
I like it.
flipping and sipping.
Norman from Indiana. We've got Susan from Mishawaka. I can sure.
Right there.
Mishawaka.
Yep, that one.
Nice. Essenhaus. I like the
Thank you.
Essenhaus down in Mishawaka.
Tammy from San Diego.
I like San Diego too. Cardiff. I had a friend down in Cardiff for a long time.
We've got a lot of comments saying people are excited for Venetian night.
Venetian night.
So what Jake just did is he took that bubble that I blew out and dropped on the bottom of his piece. It was sealed, and he actually pulled it out, necked it down with the jacks, and then he put some cold metal on it, and I tapped it and broke it off, and that opened up the bottom of the bubble kind of like this. And now he's going to actually flare that bubble open and make it into a foot. But it's not going to be just a foot. It's going to be the
Oh, no.
flipper sipper.
Flipper, sipper, foot.
So you're going to see that there's going to be, this is a margarita glass. It's going to have a room in the foot so you can have a shot before or after you've drinking your original margarita.
Would you mind explaining to him one sec why I'm not going to be folding this foot?
Yeah, the reason Jake didn't fold the foot on this guy is that it's got a scalloped edge on it. Because of the mold that
All
he
the
went
way up.
into, that 12-point optical mold,
Beautiful.
he intentionally wants to have a scalloped foot, which is a really, really beautiful type of foot. You can see how he drew the scallops up on the top and up on the bottom,
We're gonna do that one more
which
time.
comes from the thicker glass. When the piece is blown into the optical mold, when you're opening it up, the thicker glass moves a little bit longer and it scallops itself on the edge.
Isn't that what Dale Chihuly, oh my goodness, sorry. Dale Chihuly does with his giant platters?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people
Thickener
out there that do it, but Dale does do it too. The Italians have been doing it for thousands of years, which is really cool. And it's just the optical mold.
Start real light in one sec. All right.
So he's specifically using the jacks to get that defined line so he has not
Beautiful.
just a foot of the cup, but a cavity there that's about 1.5 ounces, because everybody knows that a 1 ounce shot of tequila is not really even worth it. So you get a shot and a half
Common
in the bottom,
knowledge.
and that's better.
I was going to do a ginger pineapple shot personally.
I love
I'd
those
like 2
ginger
ounces
pineapple
of that.
shots for sure.
So my favorite part about this whole piece so far is the connection of the bottom of this Avolio to the foot. It's perfectly symmetrical. It looks like a little pancake, a little glass clear pancake sitting on there. Just want to pour
Got it.
some maple
we
syrup
zoomed
on it.
in.
So
Super
you're going
close.
to punny it now, Jake?
Yep.
All right.
right,
I'm
why
going to
not
work
punny?
on cutting some of this cane up for my piece.
All
and
right.
then when you need me for those handles, let me know.
I think that
You want this cutting to be pretty thin.
pretty slim and just pretty nice. Not too much glass off the end of the pipe, but not too little. So this is a great warmer upper here, folks. This is going to be available if we get her complete and in the box to the Loyalty League members. This piece is going to be nothing compared to the next piece. I'm not going to give you all the details. Chris is going to lead the charge on that one, but man, it's going to be a tasty one.
Too little?
No, that looks okay, actually. It looks perfect. I'm looking perfectly straight. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to tap it one time. That looks great.
All right, here's what you don't know. If you guys had smell-o-vision, you'd know this. That Bess puts this awesome cream on that smells like vanilla. And I'm just like, where are the cookies?
It's my perfume. It's my favorite one.
It's so good.
All right, here we go.
And it lasts like all
Push
day.
a little bit.
Glass blowers always need salty, sweet snacks.
Beautiful.
Feel free to send them along to us anytime you desire.
So you can see maybe if you were looking, you had a nice, well, you're going for the zoom now, which is awesome. If you look at the bottom, that scalloping that Chris was talking about, I had the foot purposely made a little bit too large, and I took a much longer heat than I normally would have right before I paddled it with Oliver for the second time. And that thickened up the edge and gave it almost like a folded lip extra thickness, and also amplified the scallopticity of the bottom of this glass, and it really turned out exactly how we wanted it.
Bess, can you write that down? Scallopticity.
I was going to say, is that a new word?
That is pretty fresh, yeah, pretty new. And now I just need to keep it warm and keep it safe and steady. If I did a folded lip on the bottom there, those are the ones that usually explode on me because you trap air in there, and the expansion, the contraction, and I'm just going to get back to focusing.
Welcome if you guys are new to the Gathering Point. We are a local studio in Dearborn, Michigan, the home of Henry Ford. Every Tuesday night we do a live show. If you subscribe to YouTube, you'll get a notification every time it happens. If you're following us on Facebook,
Cool.
we'll show up in your feed if you like our page. We have some great postings and reels that we
Nice
do.
heat.
So if you're new to the show, make sure you take a minute to view our Facebook page. If you're a glass blower, there's all kinds of tips and tricks in there that you'll learn.
Yeah. And we're gonna do some cranberry handles on it.
Anything you need to say, Bess?
No, not really. I was going to bring up if anybody has not seen our video from this past weekend yet.
Yeah, that one's doing really well.
It is. We're currently up to 231,000 views.
Yeah.
On there.
What was the other one that we didn't know on Facebook? It deleted after 30 days. What was that one at?
About 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Guess that's one way you
I
learn.
think it's
huh?
gonna be all right on this one. The handles are gonna have to be 2 coats of cranberry, so they're gonna be about the size of like, probably a little bit bigger than the punny, just barely bigger than the punny was, and all off of the pipe. And I'll do the pull down technique.
Did you want me to bring those, or is he good with that?
No, I think Oliver's got it.
All right.
Linda says, I love when Jacob is happy about a piece because of the sound effects you make.
Or the weird words he comes up with.
Yeah.
So the cranberry color Oliver does not have by the furnace, but sometimes it's nice you can dip into the color. By the time you come back and heat it up, it's ready to go.
All right, this is where it gets serious.
Old man Chris is over here grunting.
So your job is gonna be to keep the thickness the same the whole time. I'm moving down the line with it, and you need to lift up or down according to the previous ones, and note it, just keep an eye on the thickness of the bit as it pulls out. Does that make sense? All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm going to do 2 views of the handle. One is like kind of what Jake's seeing. And then the next one will go around the
Right
front.
here? Ouch. Lift up. Good.
All right, so now Oliver's trick is
One
he's
more,
got to
exactly
make
the
the
same.
same exact handle.
Perfect.
Gather it up, bring a fresh one, same size, same thickness, same heat. Jake, on the other hand here, is just going to monitor that this is doing what he wants it to do,
It's all you.
paying attention carefully
Jesus.
to the balance of heat.
It looked really good after working down there. I want to just double check that each of the tips doesn't have a little cut mark on it. So a little extra flame just to make sure there's no sharp edges. And I got a whole bend in the piece. The whole piece is about, 18% off kilter, and I'm going to leave it like that. So after Oliver brings over the second one, it falls back down to where it needs to be. This one's not going to be stamped, folks. It's going to be signed.
So
Going
he's
for one
talking about
heat,
a
and then I'll
stamp.
be
We
ready
have a
when you're
little
ready.
GA stamp. You might see it in some of our photos. It's a little bronze stamp that we put on our glass. When we go over the table, we'll talk about that. And as soon as Oliver brings the handle over, I'm going to swing behind him.
Down here. Lift up a little bit. Finger sizzler, lift up a little more.
The cool thing about watching these videos is if you're a glass blower, you can put it on rewind, go back and check it out again, fast forward, just get to the glass stuff you want to see.
Sharon says, fancy schmancy, you need to be drinking some primo tequila out of this.
What? Oh, that's
Yeah.
a hint. Game on.
Will you put the paddle right there for me? I'm
Just
gonna
gonna
paddle
do a
it one
little-
time, and then I think we should just knock it right off and get her home.
On the other side of the fence.
And I'll probably carry it over to number 3, or at least halfway, and knock it there for you. But you could grab it and... Nah.
Over on the YouTube side, username Pods of War says, is there a name for the tool that cuts the cane down to size?
Tile nippers.
Nippers.
We have a really cool machine when we're doing a lot for marinis that we use.
what, to
but
put the
tile
piece
nippers
away?
are basically what you use.
All right, I can't get in there to put any metal or any metal or water on it, so here's the final look, and I'm gonna give it to Oliver after one more light flash. Actually, I'm gonna straighten it one time, I'm sorry.
You can tell when glassblowers are excited, they turn fast.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking
I'm
about
just like,
the camera
turn
at
slow,
all.
but you guys can freeze frame. All right,
it
nice
is.
to have you all on the show. Welcome
it
to the
is.
Gathering Point, where for the next 2 hours, we're gonna dazzle you with tricks of the trade.
All right, so now all we can do is tap the pipe and hope it breaks in a good way.
Where it's supposed to break.
Yep, about right here. Lift it on.
You're always supposed to do this over a table or something.
Go in between those two, right like that. Yep. Look at those tasty pumpkins in there too. Man. That's a warmer upper right there.
Yeah. That's a warmer upper.
Nice work, dude. That was nice. So that one's an improvement on the style of the last one that we did in West Virginia. That was the cranberry pink and a brand new, beautiful transparent purple, similar to our regular jewel tone one. But it's in the box. Give us a moment. We'll get it up and we'll get it sent out to the members in a bit here. And as Chris sets that up, do you want to go over the board real quick?
Yeah, let's
Go over the
look
board,
at the table.
look at the table. We've got 4 minutes until the table goes live.
Let's do the table first.
All right.
Table has migrated to a shelf.
Look at how nice it looks.
I know.
We
got
adjusted the spotlights.
a
Ellery did an
new
amazing
design
job.
girl. Yep, she did.
So this was your design from last week, wasn't it, Mom?
It was, and during the week you made different varieties of them.
That's right. And just like we spoke about on the show, you kind of had to go with the cool colors and the warm colors. But on the very last one, and arguably the nicest one of the batch, they've all got their own style, their all own special deal about them. This one, Matt and I attempted both colors, and they overlap, and there's some really cool depth to the color pattern. Look at it from the inside.
Ooh, that's nice.
This is my favorite by far. I really contemplated asking what we might look at that crisp line.
We might have saved this one.
Might have saved this one, especially as a representation of what we did. But you could tell there's 3, number 1, 4, and 6, that are encased. The stamp is right into the side of the glass. And then you've got a texturous style, like number 2, 3, 5, and 7, that the color is texturous on the outside. Still amazing visual effect with texture, and the stamp
So
on
it
the
looks
exterior.
like cool paints, like
Totally.
paints were dripping or something. And then we have a couple from your journey or influenced by your journey.
Yep. Really beautiful Venetian stemware. These were all crisp. These are beautiful pieces, and they're kind of rare collection of pieces. That's the tank red through and through. We've got an all crystal one over here, number 11, and this is a great example of the compote style that we're about to be making that Chris is prepping for. Also, this was last week's glass, and this is the giveaway for this week, folks. One of the prototype glasses of this quilt style thread glass, and this is going to be given away at the end of the show from everyone's entries from last week.
And that was our coin jar,
That's right.
our change jar.
And we didn't bring our change in, but this is just a beautiful board right here. Would you look at that?
Family owned and operated since 2001.
On the pipe, Chris, Jake, and Oliver. You got Michelle behind the camera. You got Bess on tech support, on the mic and on the tech.
And the most important thing there?
Head wrangler.
Yeah, that's right.
So we did the warmer upper on show number 264 here. Is that right, or is it 265?
4.
264. We've got a custom order, which we don't actually have, artist choice, and giveaway. We're going to be giving a piece away.
Point to what it is. Artist choice.
Yeah.
All right.
These guys are behind the wall.
I know. The cane here, he had the ruler. I'm not sure why, because he was measuring something, but there's the tile nippers. Nothing special about them, just tile nippers.
This is fun preparatory work, you guys, and I don't know if Chris is going to draw it up, but to give you an idea, the compote over here, the cane is going to be in this portion of the compote. This is not a compote for actually displaying any kind of cupcake or anything. This is Venetian, super gaudy, hardcore, glassware. So it's going to be there. We're going to do a stem that matches. It's going to be all black and white, and it's going to be for sale.
All right, so what we should have done in some of the past shows is pastorelli work, which is one of my favorite things. Because it would help the newer glass blowers understand how to work the pastorelli. When we throw them under the bus and be like, just take this metal thing and go heat it up over there. It doesn't make any sense.
It's the only way these guys learn here at the Glass Academy is by doing it live on the show for everyone to experience.
Yeah, in real time. Did you buy one of those bouncy things, like the ribbed?
Nope, but I also talked with Dad, and it was in your court to talk with Dad about that one.
What is the bouncy thing?
The pastorelli that's got the lines in it, so you can do every other piece of cane.
Yes. I like that.
It's a bouncy thing.
So that's warming up right now.
It doesn't. It looks like it's just sitting here. What do you mean it's warming up?
Well, I preheated the steel plate, the stainless plate that these are sitting on, and I put them on there, and they're getting hot. So the plate is still not touchable, but these are, I can feel the heat
do you want to
radiating
sketch
off
out
of
your
those.
design?
So I'll draw up what we're going to be making right now. And what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to roll up this cane and use 2/3 of it for the domed top and then 1/3 of it for the stem so that the dome top matches the stem. So you'll see that when I draw this up.
So how can he do that? What he does is the garage over there where that yellow canister is right above it, that garage is going to hold a pipe with the third that he's not using. So this style work is definitely a lot of teamwork. You have to have some assistants to help you heat up, cool down, yada, yada, yada. It's a square box. I mean, here's where the Ovolio is, right there. So towards Chris is the opening. And then the rest will be drawn out towards us.
So I just got some news from Oliver on the plan a little bit, as Chris was mentioning to Oliver while they were lining up the cane. And the plan is that we're going to be picking it up. We've got to preheat this cane. We've got a thicker side, which is going to be in the flame and the hottest part connected to the glass. And Chris is going to be picking it up. This will be the connection, the thicker side. He's going to blow it out this way and shape it up. And this is a really cool shape that I've never personally seen him do so far. We talked about it at dinner before this. You see the one over there we looked at, the clear one, is much more domed and cake-like. This is going to be really emphasizing the black and white strands of color and chopping it at the top and having really sharp, tight, crisp edges. That's my favorite style of blown glass for sure. I'm excited to see it come together.
So you're not going to be able to see through this domed lid.
That's correct. There may be, since they're encased in clear, there may be slight windows of clear between each of the lines of color, but it's certainly not a window enough that you're going to be noticing what's inside of it. It's more about the color pattern and the gaudiness.
I wonder sometime, if Sam's watching, I wouldn't mind trying a GoPro for this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the gimbal doesn't like fast motions.
Well, if we can't keep our own eyelash hairs on our face, and I don't know if a GoPro would withstand. But
like
they're
around
pretty
your
powerful.
head when you're reheating.
Yeah.
We'd know exactly what you guys are thinking.
Am I good to give this a couple heats here?
Well, I'm going to have my moil going. It's not hurting it. I'm just thinking about the process, and I think we need to go over the process of how we're doing it so everyone can kind of hear that. But I was just thinking about the finial that's on the top of the cup, that top of the dome that you lift off, and I was wondering if we should just make that like we did before. We put an Ovolio on, and then we put the decorative bit, we punny up onto that, you know, and then open the thing up like we did when we were down at Greenbrier.
Instead of punning up on the inside and then adding that on?
Instead of punning up on the inside.
I thought that worked pretty good.
It did work pretty good, but I kind of thought that the other thing worked pretty good too.
Well, you had a really thick ball here, though, for a strong connection. If you're going to do 3 balls.
Well, maybe we could just do a Volio on the top with a pacifier on the top, and that's it. What do you think?
We got the garage on. I think putting something delicate and nice and elegant that matches here on the top is a complete finish.
Jeez, just making it tough on me, but okay.
Trying to get out on the easy side of things.
Did the website go live?
So you got to make that first then, right?
Well, yeah.
And then I'll put this in the garage and get it preheated up even more.
That's not the way to do it, but I can make this really quick. So if you take that and put that on the bench over there, it's still heating the cane.
Perfect. So if you are part of
and
the
I think
Loyalty
Oliver
League,
might be. What we don't want to do is we don't want to bring the piece up to a super hot temperature, because if we do, when we flash it and get this hot enough that it melts, if this is too hot, it'll stick to it.
Okay.
So Oliver, maybe while Jake and I are making that little finial, if you could just fluffer that with the fluffer nice and gently over the top and preheat those, that would be amazing. That way, then I guess we can let all
that I absolutely
the
love.
goodness out of the bag with this Ovolio.
All right, so here we go. And the way this is going to go together, we've got the garage over there at 1,000 degrees. We're going to make this top portion first. Then we're going to put that away in the garage. We're going to build this whole thing out off the bubble with the pipe like this. We're going to pick it up by putting a pipe on the inside and then putting that little finial on there. It might be a lot to figure out from at home. I don't know if that made sense to you or not, Bess, but
I have to say, this person, it's the best comment ever. Is it pod so far or
just start with like a turn it up and start with a light fluff to
I
get
know
it
that
warmed
guy,
up.
Pastor Ellie.
my good friend, Pastor Ellie.
Nice.
Could be dressed like a priest next week.
So I'm going to do white, and then that's white Ovolio with a black finial.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, Bess mentioned, and you guys were talking to, the Loyalty League is a membership that we do. It opens 4 times a year. It's closed currently. Those members have special privy to first pick, members only items, etc. So that warmer upper is available to you as the Loyalty League member. We do have another league called Star Supporters. Those are people who support our business and just make these shows possible. The tech that's involved here, the time and energy, putting these shows together takes a hot minute. So Star Supporters really pull through for us and make it happen.
Punty?
Yep.
We'll give you information how you too can become a Star Supporter. There is a link in the YouTube bio that you can reach out to us at. You'll get discount coupons for our products sold on the website and other special incentives.
Yeah, and any other technical questions as we get into this? This piece is going to be taking quite a bit of focus from the 3 of us. Michelle's on the camera. Bess is right there to answer questions as well. So the more technical we get, the more we hope that you guys are learning a thing or two and asking questions with us.
We do have a giveaway every show. Last week we had some technical glitches. Everyone send a positive vibe because we did a bunch of things to our
All right, Jake, I'm going to take a black
iPad
bit.
and followed what
dropping it
Switcher
on.
said what to do. So smooth sailing on the road tonight.
Is that too big?
They don't see.
What'd you say?
Is that too big?
Oh, nope, it's going to be fine. I'll just take what I need. I thought that came from around the wall and thought it was Oliver talking to me. I was like, what's Oliver saying?
Loyalty League, we're checking on that email to make sure it went out. If it didn't go out, we'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
Can't leave the action right now.
So this is the finial that's going on top of the dome, guys.
What is a finial? Is it a fin eel? Finish? It makes sense.
What does it mean? Someone with those fast Google hands. Google the word finial.
The precision is amazing. And Dad, did you want your goblets, your jacks out?
It might be nice.
Watch out.
I'm getting pretty good with these, but
I bought him this beautiful leather case, but he's in the 70s.
I'll take those right now. They got the paper wrapped around them. They got on the end of the cups is a little towel.
They're not hot though.
It will be.
Just like Surgeon Precision.
Not yet. Nope, because this is just going to be what
That's
it is,
right.
Jake.
I need it stat.
It is what it is. And you're going to need a Maurice on that?
I don't
Or
think
no,
so.
you're just knocking it off in the garage?
Yep.
Will you take this for a moment so
I'll
I can
take
do
it.
something else?
April says, I walked away. Is that bar color that's right?
This is not bar color. That's a white frit and white or a black frit. The bar color will just be in the top, which let's go take a look at Oliver over here and catch up with him as these are preheating. There's our bar color, black and white alternating cane getting heated, blasted with the fluffiest of flames.
Super light fluff.
Pretty light fluffage. And then over here behind Oliver, we're in the hot zone. This is where in the summertime all the heat pools up in the crevice of the shop. And in here we've got an open flame hitting the top
Okay.
of the garage.
So,
And this
turn
is
this
sitting
off.
at 1,100-ish degrees.
I wonder, Jake, do you want me to leave it on the punty in there, or do you want me to knock it off on the thing?
Maybe on the punnies, well, I mean, do you want to pick it up on the bench or do you want to pick it up on the paddle?
On the paddle, and whoever brings it to me is going to know that they got to keep it leaned back so it doesn't roll off.
Right.
So I'm just heating that paddle up. If you want to, well, you can't, but we're going to put it on. I'll just knock it off in there, and then we can move it onto the paddle.
That sounds great. If you guys are just joining us, we've got an incredible flipper rounder goblet in the box already, and we're going for the compote here. A 2-part piece. The top portion of this will be put away, and then we'll make the bottom portion, and during the annealer reveal, member exclusive, we'll show you guys the finished product, and depending on if it sells or not, we will have it on the
Beef
show
it up
next
now,
week.
The heat. You can beef
But
the heat up.
Michelle will definitely be taking pictures of this, posting this online. And you guys will see all the action. But thanks for joining us on the show here. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. If you haven't already, let us know where you're watching from. It's really important to us to see how broadly our shows are reaching out, where we're reaching out for marketing purposes, and get familiar with our new customers. If there's anyone new out there, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know you're new. And it's been a little bit of a build up to this piece, but the action's about to get going here. You can't rush this beautiful process. The glass is always rushing us because it cools down so quickly. And so you really want to think about your plan ahead of time and get prepped and ready to go.
Okay, you're good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the link has been reset. There's like a lot to make this Shopify back-end website work. A shout out to Amy for getting it set up. It was
So this particular tool right here, you guys, is a pi tool, which if you know, pi is 3.14, which is the total circumference of a circle, is divided up into 3 sections, that 3 holes and a 1.4. So I need to gather up the right amount of glass to roll up all those canes on the outside. So that's what I'm going for right now. I need a brush probably. You know, a little, just to brush off the cane.
Ooh-wee, that flame is hot.
This is the best I got.
That's perfect.
It's a little thick.
It's perfect. The center, I put it right over here because we're going to be brushing them off when I come out of the
gotcha.
oven. All right, Jake, if you want to start heating that up, you're going to do a good heat and you're going to try to keep it so it doesn't melt from the... What I'll do is I'm going to turn the glory hole off while you're heating that up, and then we'll turn the glory hole back on. That way the flame won't melt one side completely. You get it really, really hot to the point where you think that one side is melting, and you're going to come out, you're going to set it down on the marble, and you're going to take the tweezers and you're going to lightly press it together so it sticks. Then you're going to spin it around with 2 tweezers.
If
do
the glory
same
hole's
thing again.
off, do we need to flip it?
Yes. I think so. If we want it to stick. But you can be the judge of that if it looks like it's melted evenly on both sides.
I kind of feel like leave it on and we'll just flip it and do the normal way.
Well, why don't I just turn it down then so it's not as hardcore?
Hardcore. Well, nothing like following the glass blowers.
It's way down, which is
As
good.
they
I'm going to
roll
gather up my
along.
moil.
Did you know
Steady
there's summer
hand.
camp for glass blowers? That's where I learned how to do these cane pickups. We watched an Italian master, and then you have everyone in the class. There's like 12 of you, and you're all trying it. You're helping each other out. You get to heat it up. You get to blow it out. And you all learn at once. Then you run home and you practice, practice, practice. So art camp for artists. It's a thing. Chris is looking. It's hard because he knows that if it gets too hot, it gets slumpy.
Oh, and it's black and white, so it's soft. Give it a little
Yep.
squish and turn.
Squish and turn. You can see the edges here
Okay, they're not sticking quite yet,
are hot.
but it's looking really good.
Did it already melt some?
Yeah, the edges are rounded out big time.
All eyes are on you, Oliver. You got this. It's all right. You're going to straighten that up. Chris is getting his piece lined up perfectly.
Looks
He has
good.
to pay close
You
attention.
need help over there?
Yeah.
Heat that up for me.
The glory hole's been turned down, so suddenly it's very quiet in here.
Just one of
All
those
eyes
black
on the
pieces.
cane.
We got one under the middle that one needs to be slid over there. Split them.
Little bugger hiding out.
Beautiful.
And remember, these pieces are round. They want to roll.
Nice. Nice. I'll get them later.
They're not melted at all, just so everybody knows.
I know, but the
Cool.
tips were when we came out.
It doesn't matter. The tips don't matter. Let the tips do whatever they want. Try to melt it as best you can.
All right, I'll take those.
Teamwork makes the dream work. All right, so they're going to have a couple more times to heat that. We got a little brush over here to clean off any scale that comes from the little concrete paddock on.
Beautiful. Looking good. Oliver, come on out. Let him in there.
Back in he goes. Got the pipe warmer on. We got the furnace roasting. We got a torch going over here. We've got the garage on. So you can see this isn't like a easy, light transition of things happening. There's a lot of moving parts to doing a piece like this. Now normally during the show we
Stay
make
in there nice and long. How's it looking?
They're dripping over the edge.
It doesn't matter. Half of them are going to drip over the edge. The other ones aren't going to drip at all because they're sitting there. They're not hot enough, so don't worry about that edge.
All right.
Doesn't matter at all.
If you want to, yeah.
I'll take a peek. You don't even have to really turn about it. Just keep it straight like that's. I mean, that's looking good to stay in there.
The burner that's blowing out at this is
Bring
coming
it out,
from
let me just take a
about
peek at it.
10 o'clock shooting down on them. So that's like,
Immediately go to the bench and push them together a little bit
If a
and knock those
torch
things
was
off
on
for
it.
me.
the torch is coming at 10 o'clock.
Push them
So
together,
that
and I
matters
got to
when
come
we
from the
put
other side
the
then, which is
pieces
fine.
in.
And
I
knock
could
those
switch
off
it if you want. Yep, take them.
quickly.
These guys are just on the marker.
So see how the cane is sticking to the moil there? And then
I'm gonna take my
immediately to the
tweezers.
glory hole, tweezers, and Jake's gonna move that pastorelli right out of the way as soon as possible. So that if Chris sits down at the bench, this is where like, it's like a golf league. At Corning, they'd be all talking quiet. Okay, he just got the cane on there. He's doing the work, lining it up. Looks like a circus tent.
Just piecing them together.
That was one of the greatest tricks I learned from Lino, was carrying the tools with you. Makes all the difference in the world. Those 2 seconds when the glass is really hot, you have a little more movement, a little more time.
Just being ready to go. So he's going to work them together. He's going to have to seal the tip off, and it's going to make a really cool piece that's going to pop off the end with all those canes. And then he's going to gather over it. He'll encase it in clear. If we were to blow that out with all that texture and it's thin, it's just those canes. There's nothing on the inside, so you can't. There's nothing to push up against. So he wouldn't be able to ever round that out completely so that it becomes perfectly smooth. You can hear the sound probably through his mic right now. So once he gets it sealed up and shaped up the way he likes, and he's going to gather over it, encase it, push all that color together, and then have a nice symmetrical color heated situation that he can blow out and shape into the top of this compote.
It's kind of crazy because it's hard to describe this piece as we make it until you kind of see a couple of them done. It's for the glass blowing community, we understand it a little more. This is something maybe you saw, visiting artist came into town when you were in college or you
Want a
did a
little air?
workshop. There's a couple things he has to pay attention
Get that off
to.
first. You want to save that?
Right now, he doesn't want to squeeze it too tight faster than he is turning the piece, because that would twist the lines up. So if he wants to keep it straight, that's one thing he's looking for. He also wants to make sure all the cane is fused together so that you can actually blow in the pipe and they're all sealed. There's quite a few moving parts to this. So this is a perfect time for questions.
Right.
Put your questions in the chat. Bess will tell us, and we will answer your questions. Because as you can see, we're just standing around.
Hey now.
I'm teasing. That's what you got to do. It's like construction site. You got to wait until it's the perfect time when you're needed.
I'm studying.
Yeah. Oliver says he's studying. Chris just blew down the pipe and there's still a hole in it. So somewhere those canes are not completely lined up. Turning the
So
glory
really
hole
now,
back
yeah,
up.
really what I'm trying to do right now, you guys, is I'm trying to just get this piece. I got to keep heating it up, and I got to get them all fused together, and I got to marver it down a lot so that it gets nice and small and thicked up so that it's prepared so I can gather glass over it. And that's the hard part about this, because I just created a hollow bubble out of those tiny little pieces of cane. So everything I do now has got to be very, very particular about how I'm doing it. And it's working out pretty darn good. I'm liking it.
I do like the circus tent idea. The circus piece.
Oh, I can feel it. It's almost completely closed up, which is great. All about gravity, marvering, letting that piece fall back on itself.
Hey, you know what? This would be a good time. Bess, what's the question today?
Again. So our question today for our giveaway is, what did you learn at your first job that you still use today?
If you saw the e-news, Jessica found this great picture of Jake in his younger years. And that was probably his first job. And so, Bess, what was your first job?
I worked at a car wash.
Car wash.
Good.
Yeah, I was one of our top certified detailers.
How did it feel where the oh,
I
okay.
repaired windshields. I did all the
Right
things.
there.
I could resurface a car hood. I learned a lot.
Right there.
That's cool.
So it still comes in handy. I still do paint corrections on my car. If I had the equipment, I could repair a windshield. I can detail a car, which is also funny because my car is usually the messiest, but I detail everybody else's cars. Just like a mechanic, they're fixing everybody else's cars. They don't have time for their own. So,
All right, I worked at Tubby Submarine. The first time I worked there, I couldn't even eat half a sub. By the time I left that job, I could eat a full sub. Needless to say, that was not a good career choice.
the car wash is still one of my favorite jobs I've ever had.
Oh, so fun.
It was a ton of fun.
It's because the people you're with, right?
Yeah, also it was a very satisfying job.
Like you could see the results.
Absolutely.
Why don't you guys put in the chat? I know we're talking a lot. Put it in the chat what your first job was.
Oliver, what was your first job?
Oh. I think I was a busboy for a bar. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have a mic.
I think my first job, I was a busboy for a grand total of 1 week at a bar not too far from my house.
Did you quit or did you get fired?
I don't even remember. That was so long ago. Let me think on that for a little bit and I'll get back to you.
All right, so we got it all sealed up. It's looking good. We got some thick glass up in here. See,
Yeah,
Jake?
I see.
Which is what happened the other day when we were down there. We had a little bit of thick glass. So really what I'm going to do is try to use everything from about right here out for the top. And then we'll save this, marble that down, close it up, and make a bubble out of just what's left over there.
Beautiful.
You know, so while I'm doing what I'm doing with Oliver helping me, if you maybe want to work on that, just
Yeah.
like marbling that down, closing it up, getting it nice and hot, and bringing it off, and keeping that bubble open once you close the top, we'll be in business.
Fitting it. Is your mic on?
Nope.
So that all sounds great, folks. It sounds really good. He's going to gather clear over top of it right now and start to blow it out. When you're doing encasements like this, it's really important to make sure your temperature is completely equal. So we got this block here that's way too small. So we're going to go for one that's a little bit bigger, more appropriate.
Chris is not like a big block guy. Let's see if he uses the block. The blocks are nice because they don't suck a lot of heat out of the glass. And after you come out and you want to heat up the cane, that's a really good tool to use for exactly that reason. The marble pulls a lot of heat from the glass.
And you see the time it took to just do what we did, that color pattern. First of all, the prep, the beginning of the show, to pull those two out, to chop them up, to put this piece together, and to get to this moment where he's just starting to blow in, or starting to encase it and actually blow out this top shape. That was a lot of time. I mean, we could have been almost complete with potentially another compote for the time it took to do that color pattern. But, as you're probably seeing in the camera right now, it's a ridiculously beautiful and rewarding pattern. Any type of cane work, it takes a long time, and this is the beauty of our shows here and educating the people and other glass blowers too, and seeing that this is something that can be appreciated on a different type of level. If you're looking at glass in your hometown or online and you see some cane work like this, just know that it's pretty
Fancy schmancy.
fancy schmancy.
So Oliver, I have an update from your grandma.
Uh-oh.
This is about my first job.
It is.
I would love to hear what my grandma thinks, because my grandma notoriously gets details right.
So your grandma says, Oliver, remember, you were a lifeguard at our community center.
Oh, that was your
Yeah,
first
see,
job.
That's
Blow.
my first job.
You want the bigger jacks?
Yep.
We've got a lot of people saying their first job in the chat. We've got Let's see here. Carrie
Or the
says
Marucos.
technically babysitting, but first real job working in a
Eventually, I'll
restaurant.
need the big
True.
one, so it's fine.
I guess technically my first job would have been babysitting too if we were going to count that.
Yeah.
My first job was mowing lawns. It was not blowing glass.
Mine
I was
Oh,
blowing
sorry.
glass when I
Mine
was
was
young,
a paper
but
route and then Burger King.
nice. Burger King champion.
Wait, oh, lifeguard. Okay, did we hear the end of that?
Look at how delicious.
Below, Oliver. Keep going.
So,
Good.
if anyone traveled to Italy in the 50s, or if you go to antique stores, there was a big travel insurgence after World War II, where a lot
Insurgents?
of people. Is that reverse?
Is that right?
That's-
Surgents? Surge? Insurgents?
Anyways,
Who
there were a
knows?
lot of people that had money after the war to travel, and they went to Italy. And Italians cashed in on this tourist boom
Ching ching.
and made a lot of cane pieces. Ashtrays were big. So you might see these in vintage stores now. But where we are in Metro Detroit, there were a lot of white collar Ford
Lightly
executives
below, Oliver. I'm not going to need a paddle yet. Below
Yeah.
lightly.
that traveled to Italy
eat
and
those
brought
up.
this work home.
Keep going.
I have a request that came
Keep
in
going.
to Jake from Sue.
Good.
Give it to me, Bess.
Sue says, Bess, please ask Jake to sign the warmer upper for me because she just snagged it.
Sue, you son of a gun. That's a tasty one. And to give you guys a little context, the last amazing piece that Sue's a connoisseur of a lot of product, and the last really ridiculous, I'm not asking for this, I just want to tell the story, Sue, and I hope this is okay, but the last beautiful goblet that I had made was one of my
Oh,
favorites
Oliver.
of all time, and
Keep going
it was
harder.
actually re-gifted back to me, and it's in my cabinet
going.
at home, and I think that's one of the sweetest things that's been done to me on the live show, and you know, that's just a really beautiful thing. Sue, you're a champion, and I think that is a ridiculous one for you to have. And if you do make a flipper sipper out of it and have a little bit of something on one side and a little bit on the other, I got to see a picture or a video of it or something, because
Sue
That's a
says,
beauty.
I'm keeping this one.
yeah, I hope you would. Pink and purple, Sue, it's beautiful.
But is it good enough for a signature?
Absolutely, I'll be
All right.
signing it for sure.
Where are you going to sign it at?
That's a good question, and I saw Chris actually, one of the goblets we made in West Virginia, Chris signed the top of the foot. It was actually one of the compotes he made, because you're probably never going to be lifting up a compote
Cap it,
looking
Oliver,
at the
cap
bottom
it.
of it. And
Jacob,
to
press.
Oliver's point,
Harder.
you want an angle or just flat?
Flat's fine for now because we'll have Oliver pump it a little bit.
The pumper.
Good. Okay, off. Oliver, lightly pump.
Hold.
Pump, 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 pump. Good.
That's beautiful.
Nice pump work. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I
I'm
don't
going to take
know,
a
but-
Maurice and then a punty, Jake.
I'm going to sign the top of the foot. A Maurice and a
Pumping your
punty.
foot.
This is where you check the pipes and make sure they're nice and straight. We got a lot of straight ones. We got a lot of bent ones.
Why do we have bent ones? That's not like
Why
a
do we
thing.
have bent pipes?
Below, Oliver.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask the pipe bending ghost.
Actually, heat that up for 1 second. I'm going to have Oliver do a special treatment here. And then we'll put it on.
Here's a fun first job from Marilyn on the YouTube side. She says her first job was taking hair curlers out of old ladies' hair at a beauty parlor when she was 14.
That sounds pretty interesting. Heard some good stories and whatnot.
Of course, it's where you get all the tea.
The gossip,
All
the
yep,
tea.
The tea.
Who's watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel? It's on Amazon Prime. They're in a beauty parlor, and it is like the gossip central.
Not yet, Oliver.
That's what it sounds like.
All right.
I mean, but that's ladies
Below,
spend
Oliver.
hours getting their hair done.
Keep going.
You sat under a hair dryer.
Dave says, I love the panicked
Good.
look on Oliver's face.
All right, Jake, I'm ready.
The what?
panicked.
The panicked look on Oliver's face. Dave.
Pump panic.
Dave's figuring me out a little bit too well.
I might get a fresh punny.
Okay.
The optics are so fun.
This thing is looking so cool.
All right, everyone knows where to send their answer to the question. It's nice that we're talking on here, but eNews at Glass Academy is where you want to send the answer to what your first job was, so you're eligible. Tonight, we might get in only 2 pieces. The warmer-upper or the giveaway might be next.
This one's pretty, a pretty
Heavy duty.
Heavy-duty piece.
Yeah. Taking one heat, or are you ready for me?
I'm gonna take a heat.
Left it a little bit beefier. This pipe's kind of the size of this, in my mind, is a little bit in between counterweight and regular pipe. You want it to be delicate and have some really good control over it, but you don't want it to be clunky when we're doing something this precise. So I kind of brought him a medium size, medium punny, and he can decide how much he wants to squish it on there.
Hey, so last week,
Am I
Beth, do you
taking
want to
that moil
read
still?
some of the
Yep.
answers from last week's contest?
Yeah, absolutely. So our question last week was, what themes do you think that Chris, Jake, and Michelle will
And what
take
am I doing with it
turns
again?
focusing on?
Closing it up and
Read
blowing a
what
bubble in
Chris's
so I can
were,
make a stem out
because
of
I
it.
think it's kind of funny. It matches what's happening.
Yeah.
No gathering over it, just
So Krista says something unusual. I think Chris will go for something unique. I think Chris will want big things. I think Chris likes to do things big. Venetian drinking vessels. We've got, let's see here, drinkware or a nest bowl or a glass piece with metal. New unique drinkware or decorative pieces. Let's see here. Vases with metal. So yeah, along the same lines of Venetian unique.
Yeah, they're pretty spot on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to read some of Jake's?
Yeah, so for Jake, a lot of people said drinkware. We've got Jake, something Red Wings
I'm gonna
for
take a
sure.
paddle, Oliver.
Jake may work on refining his bonsai or maybe some cloud objects. Critters. Gnome, slugs, snails or sheep, cane. Fantasy and whimsical glass pieces. A Mother's Day theme from Jake.
I heard my name like 5 times.
Yeah, you did.
What's it all about?
I was reading some of the answers from last week's question of what themes people think you guys might individually do.
Ah. Someone suggested that I would choose the Mother's Day theme.
Yes.
Love that. Shouts out to all the moms out there.
So a lot of people said you would do critters, drinkware, refining your bonsai on an episode.
Most definitely. Got to get
I'm
re-inspired
gonna
on
need
those and
another
get them
paddle
going.
on this, and then I'm gonna flare it out just a little bit on the bottom, and then we need a caliper reading on it. And you could probably use those aluminum ones; are fine. Inside first, then outside.
Wendy says, could this have been twisted or molded in the beginning when it was fused?
This could have been twisted, yep, and it's even harder to keep it straight. But that was the plan, and Chris stuck with it amidst a little bit of a hairy pickup since we never really do these.
It's looking pretty good.
But he did an amazing job keeping that as tight as he did.
It was
and if
hairy,
all else fails,
like,
you can always
didn't
twist
that
it.
smell when the hair got hot?
So we'll go for a caliper reading now. Yep. You can use the back end of these right here, Oliver, if you want,
I love when they're not paying attention.
because we're
I
done
know.
with these.
They're in the zone.
And then we're gonna, Jake, if you're pretty good, we're gonna need a punchy for the inside of this.
You want inside?
I'm not
outside.
really that good. I still need a minute.
All right.
Is it going to be a dirty punny or a regular one?
I think a regular one. It's thick enough. A regular one's gonna be fine.
Well, maybe you guys wanted to, I don't know, I need one more minute here.
I mean, as soon as I punny this up, we're gonna be sticking that other bit on. So, you want to trade up for a minute, or you got air in that?
I gotta kind of reintroduce here.
You want to trade up for a second?
Sure.
And just keep that warm?
It looks like there's a slim, nice bubble down there, but there's not really.
So Chris has all the cane, the second half. That's how you merge these pieces.
You got this guy calipered, Dad?
Yep.
Yeah, don't let it move an
I know,
inch.
which is easier said than done, heating
Black
out of the
and white,
furnace.
too. Yeah, not a millimeter. Wow. Such striking lines.
Got a nice bubble in there, and that's going to get stiffened up and just go in the garage for now.
Just like that?
Just like that, but you just don't want it to slump because we're going to, after we put this away, so put that in the garage with a brick in the front so it's hanging in midair, you know what I mean?
Yep.
On the right side, and then we'll preheat it on the left when the time's right. That just stays on the inside, Jake, on the outside, and you just put the rest of the pipe on it, you know what I mean? And the piece is inside, and the pipe's just resting on the brick.
I know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Just like that, right?
Yeah, but if you put it up against the wall, then it can't roll off the brick. If the brick is on the outside of the door. If you got it set up and it's fine, I don't care, that's fine. All right, punty.
Do I need to keep an eye on that guy in the garage?
Do
Just
we have
making
the
sure it stays on center?
What?
Is the piece on the paddle?
No, it's not on the paddle.
So then before we punny it up, we want to get the piece on the paddle, have it steadied so it doesn't roll off, lean into the back, and then we will have Oliver go up with it and start preheating it on the left side.
This is pretty, the timing needs to be perfect here, so Oliver's getting that looped up on there. You could probably just, here, push it this way.
The old shovel tech?
Yeah.
Oh, the old shovel tech. Oh, the old shovel tech.
Josh says, dang, so many technical steps.
Working.
I love it.
Son of a biscuit.
All right. You'll be going up in the air with
So
that.
just keep the back end down everywhere you go so it won't roll. You know what I mean, Oliver?
Yeah.
Always kind of facing it up. It's not going to roll over that piece of metal. And you're just going to keep it nice and hot up there, which is good. Hold it up. And then, Jake, I think we might be ready.
All right. Here we go, folks. We're going inside the top of this to punny it up. This punny is so important here. Yeah?
And yeah, that's good enough for starters, I think. Yeah, because we're not going to be messing with it too long. Is it centered?
Yep. Beautiful. It's got to go down a little bit. Yep.
I'm watching it on this end. You ready?
Yep. I got it. I got it.
Hang on to it.
I got it. This is where it's turning opposite.
Yep. Okay, Jake. And the best thing to do is just to hold it up like this.
All right, you ready for me?
Almost. I'm letting this stiffen up just a little bit, Jake.
Okay, and we're doing the stickum. You're gonna torch it, and then you're bringing that over and presenting it right underneath there. You got
All
the
right.
tweezers.
Just give me a little cue when you're ready for me.
I will.
We will. Hold on.
I'm gonna gather extra deep here so Chris has hot glass on the pipe to grab with his tweezers to preheat his tweezers. Otherwise, he'll crack this topper when he goes to stick it on.
Oliver, you're just gonna set yours on the edge of the bench. You know what I mean? But not yet.
Like slug
I'm
eyes.
heating this up. Heating
Yeah.
that up. This is good. I'm gonna stand up and put it on. I think.
All right.
I'll call you. We're gonna have a little time, Oliver. The fluffer would be nice over here. Jake, will you bring me the fluffer? Because every time I flash, the punty's too hot. Oh.
Yeah, and that's now it's an inverse flopper, so the punty's connected on the very tip. So every time you think gravity's gonna make it bend down on the tip like it normally does, it's opposite. And what's closest to Chris is lifting up. It looks it's backwards from gravity.
We better do this pretty quick. I'm gonna take one flash and we're gonna go for it, guys.
All right, this is gonna be the flash. Steady hand, Oliver, working like a champ over here.
Wrists are feeling it.
The wrists.
I'm ready, Jake.
All right, here we go. I'm here.
What? Bring it, Oliver.
Coming.
Get it on the set it on the bench.
Do you want a fluffer on the lip?
No, it was pretty hot when I came
It was
out
pretty
last
hot.
time. It looks pretty
Look
straight.
at that. That looks amazing.
You wanna? What are we getting? The big fork.
Fork.
I mean the little fork. Flash the. I mean the big fork. Maybe I don't know.
But both forks.
Some kind of fork situation. The little one I think is going to be perfect.
Last flash. I don't know if it'll go over it or you'll have to grab it by one of the little things up top.
Yeah.
Coming out.
I'll get it right by the ball. Brr.
It's looking good.
You want to take one more flash?
No.
After touching that or no?
Nope.
All right.
My tweezers are hot.
Well, then I'm ready for you.
Lift up. Let's just try to get it off over here on the thing. You can pick it up from over here, Jake, right?
Sure.
Here you go. Which, 4, 3?
3.
Well, that was rowdy.
I'm not exaggerating, but my pants almost just fell off.
I'll take that.
My pants almost fell off, folks.
Wow, and that's about 30%
They
of
weren't
it.
loose when I started this piece, and all of a sudden I think I shrunk or something with tension. Yeah, I think.
Anxiety shrinkage.
I think the mic's pulling them off.
That was intense.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
We're just going to breathe for a minute, folks. It's pretty sweet. Nice work, Oliver. Nice work.
Housekeeping in between the giant piece. Perfect.
Hello. So a couple things to go through with you guys tonight. First off, last week was our charity show or our donation show. As some of you have been calling it, we kind of been going back and forth. We did raise some money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. That was our chosen charity that we raised funds towards last week. So 20% of all sales from the show went towards that charity. So we will be sending them a check. I do have a beautiful representation of it here. So we will be sending $153 over to NAMI. So thank you to those of you who helped us raise those funds for them. It's a really, again, a fantastic charity. If you guys want to check it out on their website, I will put the website in the comments for you guys when I get a chance to after this is over. So that'll be getting sent off to them. Next off, we do have our giveaway piece, which is the amazing thread cup. Michelle's going to take you over there right now and show off that giveaway piece. So the fun thing about this is you can feel the texture on the outside of it, and it's kind of a mishmash of all the colors. It's more of a rainbow theme as opposed to the ones on the table tonight. So a true prototype, really cool piece to be able to have, nice piece of GA history. So congratulations to Kara Jepson. So Kara, you have won our beautiful thread cup. Watch out for an email from Donna this week. If you are local, you can come by and pick that up. Or if you would like that shipped, Donna will send you instructions and an invoice for shipping. But congratulations, that is all yours. I know I mentioned it earlier in the show. We have a video that's doing pretty well on our Facebook Reels right now. We're at 231,000 views. If you guys have not shared that video already, it's the Van Gogh blue mug Jake was making. I took that video during a happy hour class. But if you guys could share that video, we super appreciate it. It's one way to really support us without having to spend a penny, just by sharing our content. It really helps us out. We've gotten about 3,000 new viewers, or 3,000 new followers just from that video. So we're getting a lot of exposure, which is really cool, but we're able to get some new faces in the crowd, and hopefully some of you are brand new out there watching as well. So if you haven't already, go ahead and share that video. If you haven't already, take a watch. It's a really cool video. The guys did a fantastic job on that piece. Anything else to mention during housekeeping?
No, tonight they know how to enter.
You're a champion,
Yeah,
Bess.
so our question for this week, like I mentioned, is what did you learn at your first job that you still use today? I will get that up on the screen for you guys throughout the rest of the night, but you are going to answer that question and send your answers to enews@glassacademy.com. If you put your answers in the chat, that's fantastic and great and lovely, and I love reading them, but it will not get you entered. You do have to make sure you send in your answer with your name in an email to enews@glassacademy.com, and that will get you entered to win whatever we decide the giveaway piece is this week. So Michelle's kind of showing off some items we do have left on the table. Number 1 is my favorite. I know that 4 is Jake's favorite. Number 1 is my favorite. I just love those colors together. It really looks like paint running together or kind of a watercolor effect. I love that it's encased. So that's my favorite. Number 4 is Jake's favorite. Michelle, do you have a favorite up there?
Oh, I'll tell you. If you were during the show,
There you go.
unless it's low, I can't talk.
Oh yeah, so Michelle says she loves how the colors are kind of running together. If you guys couldn't hear her, she said if number 4 does not sell during the show, she's taking it off the site because that one is her favorite. We've got a couple Venetian pieces still left on the table as well, and I believe we are ready to get started with the second half of this piece.
Ask them how they'd like to cut. Is that something you do?
Yeah, so some of you had the opportunity to use our feature we were trying out last week. It's called Carter. I don't know if you guys can hear me over that. Cool. So we tried out Carter last week. It was a really cool feature where we could put some extra items available for sale during the show, and some of you did purchase off of that. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you think. Mary, I know that you were using it. Let us know how your ease of use was for that. I know you're coming in Thursday, so I may come pick your brain a little bit too. But tell us if you want to see more things like that. We may kind of use it for some bigger shows, or if you guys would regularly like to see some surprise items during the show, we could use it during just regular shows as well. So let us know your thoughts. Carrie says, busy multitasking. Where is the video you want us to share? I'll actually grab the link for it and post it in the comments for you guys for you to be able to see the link. It's one of our Facebook Reels right now. It's the reel of Jake and I believe Matt making a blue kind of Van Gogh mug from a happy hour
That was a
class.
Detroit Lions Starry
There
Night
we go.
special. That was a sweet one. And the more that gets shared, I'm sure Bess already says it, but it's pretty cool to see those the shares compiling.
And it's a great way to support us without having to spend a single penny. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You want to film first?
I'll film for a minute, take a little breaky poo. So right now, Kristen, this is really hard to explain. We explained it to Oliver. He got 90% of it, but explaining it just with my words, he's laughing over there.
Full 90.
This is going to be the platter that your potential cupcake or whatever it may be would be sitting on. This is where the dome that Chris just made will be sitting on. And so what we're going to do first is blow out this cup, a bubble, put a little connector of oleo on the bottom, flip it around, and open it up about halfway. This is going to look like a large goblet top. We're going to then put that into the garage, keep it at 1,000 degrees. Then I'm going to wait till he walks away and the action is gone to show you guys. That is this portion right here, the Avolio. This is going to be the cup top. He's just blowing up right there. Then we're going to build this with the leftover cane, put an Avolio on it, put a foot on it, punny it up, and then put our cup top on it and flare that open. That's about as best as I could have laid that out, and
Is that really it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. So then I'm gonna fold a little edge up on this.
Nice. That'll be cool. The beauty of the reason that
Want more air
we
back
do
there?
these videos, show you guys the process, why we do demos for every single class we teach here at the Glass Academy is because we can spend our entire lives up until this point learning how to describe glass blowing to the public, and it still will make no sense sometimes. So we're going to show you. Hopefully a little prep conversation helps, but if not, stick around, watch the show, share this feed, bring your friends and family around.
Doing the technique and talking about the technique are two different things.
Completely.
Right now, I look at that and two things pop in mind. One, it kind of looks like an onion. And
Onion.
two, it kind of looks like one of those ridged meringue cookies like around Easter.
The what?
One of the ridged meringue cookies. Have you ever seen those?
I'm not a cookie connoisseur.
I'll have to show you a
Keep
picture.
pressing
But
harder.
I
Yeah,
love
I'm gonna have to
meringue
see a
cookies.
picture.
Harder.
I think I might know meringue, like they're like a little dollop.
Yeah, but a lot of times they do them with like a ridged tip.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
or like
that's
little,
what that reminded me
little
of.
splashes on cakes, maybe, like kind of
Maybe.
maybe.
Make close. You're thinking like a lemon meringue pie.
Yeah,
Similar.
yeah, a little like where they're like.
They bake them. They put the little dollops and then they bake them and they become hollow. So when you bite into them, they're just very nice and fluffy and crunchy.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Yes,
about.
that's what that reminded me
Don't
of.
need to
It
have
might
this be
also be
pretty
because
beefy
I
or pretty
am
delicate?
hungry, but
And you're pretty good in the kitchen.
that I am.
Kind of know your references. There's a million connections, just like Bess is saying here, between the glass shop and the kitchen. And we were in West Virginia eating dinner with Mike, and we were looking over at the open kitchen that we were eating dinner at and making those exact connections, talking glassblower to glassblower about how you work in the kitchen as a team, how you create the artwork, the culinary arts, working in the heat, the timing of all the foods and the chemistry of them and the way they go together. I mean, tons of similarities. Anybody out there pretty good in the kitchen, and or do we have any chefs watching the show tonight?
You want to talk a little bit about what you guys were doing in West Virginia this past weekend? I've got a picture up in the bottom left corner of the screen of the two of you working on a
Heck
piece.
yeah. We got invited to visit Mike McCann down at the Greenbrier,
West Virginia, the Greenbrier.
the Greenbrier, what's it called? It's called, well, estate. Yeah. And it's a really cool spot, really sweet, and he's got his own studio on this estate that's super well kept, beautiful, beautiful estate in the mountains of West Virginia. And He invited us down for a couple different days to be blowing glass with him and making our own product line down there for sale in his gallery.
Doing demonstrations for the guests.
Doing demonstrations and getting to know another glass shop and getting to be a part of the other glass community that's not here in Detroit. He's kind of out in the middle of nowhere in this beautiful estate, and it was a really cool trip to travel down there by car and check him out and get to meet him and his style of blowing glass. And we produced a lot of stuff, and that's kind of why we went to Venetian work here, because that was something that we kind of pride ourselves on here at this shop. And Chris and Michelle have done a lot of training, a lot of work in this particular style of blowing glass, and that's something that's pretty nice to be able to bring to another shop and load their gallery up with and have their customers see a little bit of what we do over here. And so that got us in the mojo of what we're doing today. Chris made 2 beautiful compotes. We made a few different wine glasses during that process. We made a large, crazy, gnarly tree, which you all have seen us do before. And I actually made another one of those spiral vases that we had done on last week's show, and that was just a really cool. We did it in fuchsia, this deep, beautiful, very similar to cranberry, brilliant pink, and put a white spiral trail on it with white handles, and that one was beautiful. You may have seen pictures of that. If not, I'm sure they're coming out.
So I'm trying to open this up by not letting the lip open up, guys, and only open up the lower part of the flat piece, the compote. See how I'm tucking the lip back in?
Big tucker.
It's a nice low bowl shape, but I don't want to get it too big because I want to make sure that I'm not going to flare it out and do a flat platter until after it's connected to the stem. You can start to see some of that scalloping happening up there.
Scallopage.
Yep, and I think that's pretty much ready to go, Oliver, if you want to give me the paddle.
So he's going to knock this on the paddle. This is going to go into the garage at 1,000 degrees to hang out. And then Chris is going to be grabbing the stemmed piece there to start to heat that up and create this matching cane
Nope, you go around there.
black
there
and
you go.
white
Flip it over.
stem.
Flip it. There you go. Those ridges are the ridges on the one side of that paddle, for most people to know it now, and you, Oliver, as well, is for pieces that won't roll off. But when you're putting a flat cup on, you want to have the whole flat side for that to sit on. So you're utilizing both sides of that shovel.
Mary says, how long can you keep something parked in the garage?
Well, when you park something in the garage, that's a great question, Mary. Thank you, Bess. It depends on the temperature of the garage, and similar to the glory hole over here, the garage just has a lever where we're letting in hot, burning natural gas. And that lever is about 85% open, and when you first fire it up, you crank it up all the way. But once we see it's starting to creep up a little bit, we got it tucked actually pretty good. It's still at about 1050, coming up on 1100, and if that starts to reach up near 12, it depends on what you have in there, but something like this piece at 1200, 1250 would start to slump, and you start to see it bend over, and it would lose its true shape. Depending on what you keep in there, though, if all we have is large chunks of bar color and we want them really hot to prepare for a production run of something, then maybe you want it a little bit on the hotter side. But
Oliver, I'm going to have you move that cup when I come out over to the right side so that it doesn't melt.
Yep.
The right side, that 1100 degrees right there is right here on this side of the thing. Every inch over, it's hotter than 1100 degrees. It's probably 1500 over there.
Yep.
So you got to make sure that we keep it on the right side just to the very end.
All right.
When it gets ready to add it, that's when we'll move it over to the left side, and then you go up, and that's the hottest point of the garage.
So that's right, folks. We're mid-demo here. Nice
got
work,
it.
Oliver. At the Glass Academy, Dearborn, Michigan. And this show is called The Gathering Point. We've been doing it for 264 shows.
So this is the leftover part of the cane that Jake doctored up. The closest part to the oil. We're going to use that to make the stem, you guys. It's a really, look at it, it's a beautiful, nice extra piece.
Bonus.
Mary wants to know how long you can keep something parked in the garage.
We went over
we
that
did
one.
answer that one.
Yeah, you can keep stuff indefinitely parked in the garage, but I don't want to be working on something forever.
You want to show off these pieces one more time here?
Yeah, Loretta says, how do you purchase something tonight? So I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the comments. Jake is going to hand model what we have left on the table for tonight.
It's off the whole time. It's still.
Look at this delicate action here. It's actually a really strong, beautiful, flowing connection. There's no sharp edge in it, but this is just a beautiful, nice low bowl shape right here. Some more Venetian work for sale
Your
here
mic.
tonight. This is some of Chris's top tier product here that we decided to throw onto the show. And you can purchase this on the Glass Academy website. This is what we do for a living. We're in the shop. I mean, I'm in here pretty much every single day of the week. Most of us are. We've got multiple full-time staff that you see on the show with us. Quite a few part-timers as well, and a pretty big facility. We're working on putting a bar in here. We teach classes. We do these shows every week, and we love our supporters. We love our members. And every week we feature some product for you. And this was last week's. I'm surprised. I don't know if we've been checking the orders or not, but number 4 is right here, and
Hello, Oliver.
we're going to take it if it's still here.
Yeah, with the show ends if it's still there.
Stop.
Yeah, that's just a beauty. It's so nice and tasty. But these are all for sale from last week's show and the week in between. These are one and done, made for the show. And yep,
Hello?
back to the action. But number 1
It's good.
is sold to a good friend, a great customer, great glass blower.
Yeah, is he coming into town?
I think you're going to love the inside of this one when you see what this looks like. I mean, geez, it's a beauty. Number 1 is sold.
He did local pickup. Is he coming into town after?
Okay, I'm gonna take a Volio,
Okay.
and then Jake, you'll be blowing me the foot.
Okay. That is incredible.
It's a nice looking
Oh
stem.
my God. That's what I love, straight lines, straight optics, and that curvature. That motion, I mean, it looks like it's like coming out at you because they're spreading, and it looks like it's like expanding and blowing up or something. So Oliver's going to be doing an Evolio. I'll get started on the Blackfoot,
Yep, go for it.
about half the size of the white one you just made.
Yeah.
Love the confidence in that one.
I can always leave it thicker, Jake.
Right.
Okay, on, Oliver. Move with me with the paddle. There you go. Pressing harder. Beautiful. Lighting up. That's good. Thank you, my friend. That was perfect. Oliver. Give
You
him a
want
round
me-
of thumbs, folks.
You want me in the little mold or the big one?
If you go in the big one, that's fine.
I mean, I can fit in the little
A
one.
bigger foot on this is not bad, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'll go in the big one.
So it's okay.
That is looking ridiculous.
We got a good morning from the UK from Gilbert.
Swapping with you here.
Yeah, the swap.
Would you give him a little air, Oliver?
Yeah.
Blow, Oliver.
Wow, that is so tasty. It's ridiculous.
Little more? Good. Nice little pass off there. Jake slid
Sweaty?
right into my hand. I'm ready. I know it's hot. Bring it, baby. That black, super buttery. Lightly puff. Stop.
delicious. Very, very tasty.
There's that moment after you drop those feet on and like you re-inflate it. Where
Yeah.
you can tell it's like just the perfect amount of air in there to cut it.
In the neckline.
Just when you're dropping that, like the whole body of it, when
Just
you
puffs
first
straight
drop
out.
it, like it puffs up the perfect amount. It's like you can almost like see the surface tension on the glass.
And I love having the straight ribs like that on it too when they're nice and sharp.
You love the straight ribs.
I'm in love with them.
Big rib guy.
Big rib guy. They fall off the bone.
Very nice.
We haven't given away our cup yet, have we?
Yes.
We have?
Yeah, that's important. Guys, we're going to be setting up your next thing.
What'd you say about the next thing?
Open the yellow piece of paper.
Kara Jepsen.
I feel like it's a big
Very cool. A lot of information over here.
It's housekeeping.
Congrats, Sue, on a beautiful piece. Once or twice.
This is everyone's first day.
All right, he's going from the inside, nice and gentle. He's going to open it up the opposite way.
You know, I appreciate you being there, Oliver, but I think I forgot to tell you that when you're doing pieces that are scalloped, you're not, unless you have a major breakage issue, you don't want to paddle it because you want those scallops to become accentuated, you know what I mean?
Got it.
So that's what's happening now with these is once I start opening up, every time I reheat the whole thing and start flaring it open, those scallops accentuate even
Get
more.
more and more and more. Okay.
Yep, until they end up on your plate wrapped in bacon,
Yeah, just how we like them.
and then you chow them.
That is the Oliver viewpoint, though. You're absolutely right.
I thought I'd give them a different view.
Mad says, good morning from the UK. Amazing the technique used to get those lines and shapes. Brilliant work.
It's crazy to me that like this is the end of our day.
That's beginning for somebody
Like
else.
we ate dinner before we do this, but someone's waking up, having their coffee, having their tea, making eggs.
Yeah,
Hey.
I love some of the comments where they're like, oh, I'm getting my kids ready for school for the day watching you guys.
Blowing glass in the morning is a beautiful thing. Blowing glass at night is a beautiful thing. And it's really cool doing these shows all year long because half of the year
Paddle, Oliver?
we're doing this in the dark. And the lighting's so important here. Wow, look at that. The other half of the year, like right now, it's beautiful and bright and it doesn't even really feel like nighttime.
Okay, hand off on the paddle.
Now we've got a black foot on the bottom, so this is going to be a little bit sticky. But actually the black is on the outside. We opened up the bubble, so technically that's clear that we'll be connecting
Nice
to on
little
the bottom.
profile of that.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, Oliver, you're bringing me a punty, right?
Yeah.
For the whole piece, you want me to bring it?
You can bring it, Jake.
Why don't we trade off here?
So I'm making sure this is on dead center for the punty. Then we're going to put those handles on.
I haven't been on the camera all show today.
Nice. A little bit of Oliver lens work. We like it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're here at this punny portion where I'm really intentionally designing this punny right now. It may look like I'm just rolling it on the marber, but the amount of glass I picked up and the shape
Totally random.
is totally random.
So
You ready?
once you give me, we stick this on, I'll take it, you drop the pipe off, and you're going to move the cup over before you start bringing me the handles, okay?
Yep.
Ooh, baby, nice and on center.
Very nice. Something that's been really fun to me over on the YouTube side in the comments this week is we've had a couple people who are in glass blowing classes kind of talking to each other, which has been really cool to read and kind of see those interactions.
We were just
color are the
talking
handles?
about that on YouTube side of things. You're
Yeah.
talking to
I'm
us?
thinking
Clear?
one white and one black. What do you think?
I think clear would look nice.
All right, let's do them clear.
All right. And you just tell me when you're ready.
I'm gonna flash it and I'll be ready.
Okay. How far up are you going? I mean, how big? Okay, I see.
I'm going, I'm doing, I think I'm gonna do jumpers. A jumper across that middle section.
It's a good workout.
It's not gonna be, I mean, unless, what do you think, the runners?
No, I think jumpers would be
I'm
tasty
gonna
right
do
across
runner,
the middle.
runner, then I'm gonna go jump and then a few more runners.
Sweet.
And I should be using this guy.
Runner,
gonna
runner, jumper.
run,
and then a
run,
few
jump,
more.
run.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's like Crossy Roads.
All right, go
Write
for
that
it.
down, YouTube watchers. It's going to be on the
Runner,
test.
runner, a jumper, and then a few more runners.
Steady as she goes. Ooh, ooh. Okay. I think it just came up. The punny was too hot, I
Yep.
think.
I got
Quench
you.
the punny in water, maybe.
I was
It
just waiting
looked
as we were
really
talking
cool.
and it got a little
I
hot.
got down for that perfect shot and they bailed on
You ready
me.
on this one?
It looked great.
Give me 1 second. I'm a little bit hot. But that black gets hot so darn easy. But we're good.
I love watching that part.
Still too hot?
It's the punny. See how the punny's glowing? It can't really be glowing like that. So just give it a quench no matter what if you got a hot one in the water, and it'll be great. And I'm crooked here for a second, so hold on. It's really different, folks, working with this black glass on the bottom. It really... All right, Jake, go for it. It really heats up real fast. This is all about perfect temperature. Straight up in the air for a second, hang tight. Look, and that's going to be the perfect one. Steady. Go across and touch it.
Jump,
Jump.
run.
Yeah, baby. Woo! It's definitely a different temperature situation working a thicker bit like that,
Yeah,
too.
it is.
You ready on this one?
I am.
Same exact gather here.
All right, get back down there one more time. All right, watch it, folks. We'll count it out together. Run,
Stay.
run,
Touch.
jump, run.
Baller. Baller.
I really like Oliver's commentary on
Me
that.
too.
That's gonna be, listen. I know David Icarus are watching, and they need to know that this is on the test. 3 runs, 1 jump, 2 runs.
3 runs, 1 jump, 2 runs.
All right, you got to move that cup over. You forgot to move it over. It's okay, though. Move it over to the left side.
I'll just hold it up.
Just hold it up for now, yeah. Well, and Michelle will bring me the stick and bit when the time's right.
Tell me, I'm waiting.
I know you are. I'm just gonna get this on center now.
That looks super nice.
I
I
think
love the shape you have for this stem.
All right, Shell. I will. I'm going to let you get the piper there and then get ready, and I'll call you over after the next flash.
Chat has gone quiet again, which means you guys are intently watching.
We're getting to the what I think is the final moments.
All right, we're getting ready to go for it. Make it not a small one, Shell, so I can heat. Yep, so make it like a decent gather. I can heat my tweezers up. Go for it.
Big moil. It's low.
Beautiful. Steady. Flip.
Getting rubber arm over here.
Ready when you are, Jake. Good.
Oh, very nice, guys.
So now I got to get this boy plattered out.
Platification.
What I really want to do is make sure that that's not too hot up by the moil right now. So I'm gonna make sure we got her on center, which she's looking pretty darn closely on center. Looking good. Now I just got to get the top hot and open it up into the platter itself.
Heidi's talking about teamwork, and I'd like to point out the rotation between Oliver and I and Chris, and I also like to point out the teamwork of the whole show. To have Bess here pulling orders, answering questions, Michelle swapping in for the camera, running down the whole show and planning everything out. It takes a serious team to make this happen. Ellery setting up the table and making it look super good. And I mean, when we're blowing a piece like this and you're not doing it on show, it's already an incredible piece of teamwork, having 3, sometimes 4 people work together. Look at that. To make something like this
That'll
come
take-
together, that's ridiculous. Squishing a little bit.
They lighten up. Get flat.
That's flat as heck.
Did we already ask the people what they would put in this or on this?
We haven't, and I actually was just trying to put that through my
That looks
mind
amazing.
of what I would
Ah,
put on
bent
that.
the
I know
avoli a
Chris
little
keeps
bit
saying
there.
for a cupcake. So for me, I mean, you could go either way. You could go a very monotone white cupcake, or you could do something ridiculous where you open up that lid and it's just something super bright and colorful.
I know what I would do, and it's not something I'm capable of doing at this moment, but in the future, I would like to be able to take a card holder that would hold business cards, and I'd prop up a large ounce of gold in there. And you
Okay.
open up
Fork.
the lid, and it's
If we're
bling.
going for anything, that's going to change my answer. Chris kept saying a cupcake, so I was trying to think of different kinds of cupcakes. Actually, a cupcake I've made before that I think would look really cool in there is I made a peanut butter and jelly cupcake.
Ooh.
It was a peanut butter flavored cake with a peanut butter mousse, and then I whipped the frosting. I did a whipped meringue with grape jelly in it as the frosting, and I really think that pop of purple would look really cool with this.
With the bright color.
Yeah.
I'm
I agree.
I'm gonna try to fold that lip up a little, Jake.
Okay.
Becky says chocolate covered strawberries would look great on that.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, shout out to our new members
Paddle.
that joined. Becky was one of them, which makes me think of that. I don't have a mic, so someone has to say that.
Oh. Michelle saying thank you to all the members who have joined.
We had a new member
We'll
join
leave it
this
at
week,
that.
so shout out Becky.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get it up. So.
Jody says super bright cupcake. Mad says saltwater taffy. Deborah says cake or pie. Carol says cheesecake.
Nobody else said gold or precious metals
Well,
or
okay,
No, we're all
Jake,
going
I wanted to let
diamonds.
you know here before I got distracted there that I had a similar idea to you actually.
Yeah?
I was like, what would I put on this? And I just kept on coming back to like just one big honking diamond.
Yeah, that's right. That's what this thing deserves.
I think Chris got us in the food direction, and that's why
happens
we're based on food.
sometimes.
Holy son of a gun.
That's what we told her when to stick around. We have a surprise coming after this.
Michelle says everyone stick around for the piece after this because we have a surprise coming. I don't know what that means. It is a surprise only to
Very
Michelle.
nice.
So, or it's a surprise to all of us. Only Michelle knows what it is. So,
Oliver's going to help us.
stick around.
Nice
Oliver's
work,
apparently
Oliver.
in charge
Very
of the
nice.
surprise
Sure,
as
nice
well.
Very nice. Okay, we have a little bit of a surprise here. My mic
Is
is
your
back
mic on?
The people can hear me. Bess, a customer got this for you as a gift.
What?
Because you deserve a gift too, doing such good work.
Wow, how about that?
That's a nice piece. I love that
It's
cup.
super tasty. Let's take a
I
look
love
at it.
This is honestly one of my favorite things we've had on the table in a while.
You can always tell when the glass blowers have held it. Yeah, you and me both. Look at the inside.
She's speechless.
I am.
Beautiful GA stamp. Use it well. That's a nice utilitarian glass right there.
That is beautiful.
It's awesome.
Don't let the cats at it.
The cats will.
Well, that's a wrap.
That was a wrap, and for the giveaway, we're going to utilize in some sort of way that knockoff piece from that piece with the black and the white cane. That was a beautiful pattern. We highlighted it on the show. It was on the paddle, and we saved it in the box. That was a long and intensive piece. We've walked over the drawing quite a bit, but members are going to get to see it first Thursday on the annealer reveal. And then we're probably going to be posting a picture of it or something, and we'll have it available next week for showing. And I believe we'll put it up for sale, but it's also going to be going to your gallery in Ann Arbor. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think putting it up and letting people see it and see the price maybe, and it's available, and if not, then I take it to the gallery for sure.
Cool.
Great, you
Okay.
guys.
Nice work,
Well,
Oliver.
what an amazing show. I love it. We had a good time doing it, and it's great for me to get the juices flowing and you and everybody learning how it all goes down. It's a really nice thing, and
Pretty tasty.
yeah.
I'm gonna go decompress.
Let's go
Sweet,
relax,
guys.
everybody. Thank
All
you
right.
very much. Have a beautiful one.